Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? What's going on? So, this audio, I'm titling it, 5 Reasons Why Most Marriages Fail. Now, before I get into this audio, I first want to say that, when it comes to marriage, most people feel like marriage is the end-all, be-all. It's the goal. They feel that if you get married, you've made it. Me being a dating and life coach, a lot of times, especially, I notice this with women. Women will say, well, are you married? So they use that as like the test to see, oh, well, if he's married, then, he must know what he's talking about because he's reached the goal or whatever. And what I want to say in this audio, before I get into the reasons, is that, in most relationship coaches and dating coaches and stuff won't tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this because you being married is a choice that you make if you want to do that. That does not mean that you've made it. You don't have to be married. You don't have to get married in order to feel like you've accomplished something, or you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make it a better relationship because you're married. You understand? So I don't want people to take away from this audio like, oh, well, marriage is the end all be all, or it's the goal. It can be your goal personally. You might want to get married, and that's cool. And you might not want to get married, and that's also cool. But this is for, specifically for people who actually want to get married. You know what I'm saying? Or who are thinking about getting married, or who are on their way to get married. And I want to tell you guys, 5 reasons why marriages fail. Okay? So we're going to get into that today. All right. So first reason is people who get married will sometimes get married for the wrong reasons. So people will get married for the wrong reasons. So for example, a couple might be together and then they end up having a kid. So then they say, oh, we got to get married now because we have a kid. So they're getting married because they have a kid. They're not getting married because they actually want to be together. They're just getting married because they have a kid. Right? So when that happens, the marriages end up, it's not working because they didn't get married because they weren't getting married because they technically wanted to get married. They were just getting married for the sake of the kid. You understand? And this couple might not even really like each other that much, and then they're just married because of the kid. And another reason that's one of the wrong reasons is, some people will get married because they've been together for a long period of time. So, a couple might have been together for, 2 or 3 years or 4 years, and they're getting married because they've been together. So they feel like, well, I guess we should get married, which is not a good reason to get married just because you've been together. Do you understand? You get married because you actually want to be with this person. You actually care about them. You love them. You want to, be with them, have a life with them, not just because you've been together for this long. And the reason why this happens usually when people are, together this long and feel like they need to get married is because sometimes women feel pressure because they're getting older. They're like, oh my God, I'm getting old. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm about to be 40. And I really want to get married. You understand? And me and my boyfriend's been together for this long. And how come he hasn't, proposed to me or whatever? So she, is feeling that pressure. And then what happens is that the men end up getting married because they've been with the chick for so long. And they feel pressure from the woman because the woman is like, what's up? Like, why are we still together just doing this thing? We should just get married. And then they both end up getting married for the wrong reasons, which is because they were together for so long and then they just do it because they feel like they're supposed to, because of societal pressure or whatever. You understand? So that's the first reason. The first reason is people get married for the wrong reasons, and that's why their marriages fail. Now, number 2 is people get married too quickly. Now, earlier I was just talking about, someone being together for a long time and, and just getting married because of that reason, which is, not a good reason to get married. But also people will get married too quickly. Right? Now, the thing is this, you have to take time to get to know who you're going to marry. You understand what I'm saying? You got to understand, is this the type of person I want to be with? You have to, get to know each other in that way. You have to, guys, you have to figure out, is this woman going to be a good wife? You understand? Is she going to be good at taking care of kids and all this other stuff? Women, you need to figure out, is this guy going to be a good husband? Do you understand? Like, it's not just about, a lot of people they meet, they're like, oh, we're so in love. They've been together for 6 months and now they're getting married. They get married so quickly and then they end up finding out like, oh shit, like who is this person I just married? You understand? And then the marriages fail. So you can't get married too quickly. You gotta really take time to understand what this person is about. Does the person want to have kids that you're with? Do you want to have kids? Because if you want to have kids and the person you're with doesn't want to have kids, that's going to be a conflict. And then now you're married and you have this conflict, but you never discussed that. You didn't know about this because you got married too quick. So the second reason is people get married too quickly, and that's why their marriages fail. Now, number 3 is, and most people know this is kind of like obvious, is that people grow apart. So sometimes you can be you be with someone and everything's all good and, you guys are married and everything. And then it's like over the years, it's just not the same as it used to be. And it's not necessarily even, in some cases, it's not necessarily even like a bad thing where, it's not like the couple hates each other or, they just, it's not like they just don't really care, but it's like people start to feel a different way later on in life, maybe. You understand? Like you might not feel the same way about either being married or being with this person. So then, then after when that feeling comes up or when you feel that vibe happening between you and the person you're with, then at some point it's going to end. At some point, this person is going to want to be with somebody else. At some point, this other person is not going to really be feeling the energy, that goes with the marriage. So, when these people grow apart, they're going to want to not be together. And then that's really what it is. And sometimes that happens. It's not anything, in certain cases, that's a bad thing. Now, sometimes, it could be where a lot of negative energy is in the relationship. It could be where this person is with, their spouse or whatever, and they just don't talk anymore. They get on each other's nerves or whatever. And that can be part of them growing apart. It's not the spark that was there is not the same anymore. You feel what I'm saying? And then those people end up not wanting to be together, right? So the third one is people grow apart. Now, number 4, this one, I feel is very important because I think a lot of times when people are in the marriage, this is what really makes the marriage not really go well and fail. And number 4 is lack of communication. Now, this goes so like all across the board when it comes to marriage, because this is what happens a lot of times. People get into relationships, and this happens from when you first start dating to, the first time you met each other to you dating until you engage, whatever it is. People communicate, but not on a deep level and not on a level of honesty. So when people get into a marriage, it's more about they're trying to sort of keep the marriage going by not ruffling feathers, by not saying certain things that they feel, because they'll say, well, if I say this to my wife, or if I say I'm feeling this way, it's going to be an argument. Or the wife might say, well, I don't want to tell him about this because he's not even going to listen or whatever. So the lack of communication will make your marriage fail because one person's feeling this way, one person's feeling that way, and everyone's assuming this and that. And then nothing really, gets across of like why things are happening or why you're feeling this way. So if you're not communicating and you're not being honest about it, then it's going to mess up your marriage. Because, see, a lot of the issues that you got and a lot of the problems that you have in the marriage can be really solved with just having a conversation. It's really that simple. I always try to tell people this. Communication is very important. You understand what I'm saying? It's very important. And you have to, and the thing that makes it hard sometimes is that when you start your relationship off with that lack of communication and then it goes into your marriage. You understand what I'm saying? So you always have to have that communication. And, sometimes when you're in a relationship, when you're married, you might be feeling certain things that you think will be inappropriate for you to talk about. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for example, a lot of times when people are in monogamous relationships, monogamous marriages and all that stuff, one or both parties might feel a certain way sexually, toward other people at certain times. And these things happen. Like, a man might be like, he loves his wife, but he's like, damn, I might want to get some side pussy. And the woman is like, I love my husband, but I might want to get some side dick. This happens all the time, but no one communicates that because they're scared of, if I say this, it's going to hurt my wife's feeling. If I say this, it's going to hurt my husband's feelings, and it might. But that's something that needs to be it has to be some communication about that. Because if it's not, then the husband's going to go sneaking off. The wife's going to go sneaking off. This is how you get, you cheated on me and all this other stuff. And that's why your marriage failed, because you had a lack of communication. You weren't honest with each other. You weren't honest about what you felt. You went and had a whole bunch of kids with your wife, and you knew you didn't want to have all these damn kids, but you ain't tell her. You just did it because she wanted to do it. And then she probably didn't want to have all them kids, and she did it because she thought you wanted to do it. Now I got all these damn kids, and y'all ain't want all these kids. But y'all didn't communicate. You know what I'm saying? And not saying you're not going to love your kids, but the point is that if you communicate, you will have the better relationship. And the lack of communication is the thing that is going to make it harder for you, and the thing that usually makes marriages fail, because this lack of communication it's keeping information away from your spouse, and then you start to act out on some passive aggressive type stuff, and then that builds up this animosity or this frustration between you two, and then therefore it's going to ruin your marriage. You feel what I'm saying? So number 4 is lack of communication. All right. Now, the last one, number 5, and I think this is probably the most important. This is why I saved this for last. And this is why I think, generally most relationships really, fail, or most marriages really fail. And number 5 is the couple had trouble in their relationship before they were even married. So before they got married, the relationship was already fucked up. And the reason why they got married was because, of all these other, they got married probably, like what I was saying before, for the wrong reasons. Okay, we had a kid, or, we've been together for so long and I'm feeling this pressure, so I'm just going to get married. But the relationship that they were in, when they're on some boyfriend or girlfriend type shit, was not that good in the first place. Like, I had a friend who, his girl, they've been together for, a long time. And she was always like, yo, how come we're not married? When are we getting married? And the family was like, yo, when are we getting married? Why are we not getting married? And the thing was, he had love for his girl. But what happened was he would notice that they would just get into so many arguments a lot, and then they would like break up and then get back together, and break up and get back together. And, even though he had love for her and he loved it, it was just like, he said to himself, I can't marry you, because why would I marry you if the relationship is kind of shaky? You understand? For all these years, it just don't, the relationship is already shaky. So why are we going to, take it to that other level of being married when we're not even right now? Do you understand? And he was absolutely right. I totally agree with him. But again, a lot of times, people, they just want to get married because of the pressure, because, society says you're supposed to get married. They've been together for a long time, so they feel they're just supposed to. And again, like when like I said, it's not good to get married really quick. You should be with someone for a while, but just being with someone for a while isn't it. It's supposed to be, you need to be with them for a while, but also the relationship needs to be a good relationship. So you've been with them for a while, so you know that that they're a good person and that you guys get along well. And so when you decide to get married, it's going to be a good marriage because it was already good. It was already a good boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. See, people think that, some people actually think that them getting married is going to make the relationship better, or, oh, we've been together for this long, even though we've been fighting and arguing and carrying on and almost trying to kill each other and all this other stuff, and we don't really get along that well. We've been together for 6 years, so you know what? We're just going to get married because, we've been together for this long, and even though it's not really that great a relationship, we're going to get married, and hopefully this marriage will fix it. This marriage is going to make everything better. No, your marriage is going to fail because your relationship is already fucked up. So basically, you need to have a good relationship before you even get married, which should be basic common sense. But again, people that get together, they know they have a really kind of fucked up relationship, but since they've been together for so long, they feel, that they should just go ahead and do it. You understand? But it's a combination of having a great relationship, but also being with that person long enough to see how good that relationship is over time. You understand what I'm saying? Like myself, I always tell people, if we're talking about like having a good relationship and spending time, like, or how long you should wait. Because I always get this question, especially from ladies, like, how long should I wait to be with a guy until he proposes to me and all this other stuff, right? And, I always say, generally speaking, a couple should be together for at least 5 to 10 years before they even think about getting married if they're trying to do some marriage stuff. 5 to 10 years. I know a lot of women are screaming at their computers right now, like, what? 5? Yes, 5 to 10 years. Because that gives you the amount of time to see if you guys can get along, if you guys actually click like that, if you guys actually have a good relationship in order to actually be married, to actually have that good marriage relationship. You understand? Because, like, okay, let me tell you something. Me and my girl been together for 8 years without being married. We just got married like 3 days ago or something. You understand? And it was funny because my brother, he texted me and he's like, hey, you're a married man now. How does it feel? And I thought it was funny, and it had me thinking, and I'm just like, even though it's, it's only been a couple days, but it's not like it feels any different. It's still, I'm enjoying the relationship, but the reason why I'm enjoying the relationship is because the relationship was enjoyable before we even got married. I've been with her for 8 years. So it's not going to, like, the marriage is not going to magically make the relationship better or worse. The relationship is what it is. So if you are a person in a fucked up relationship already and you get married, guess what? 9 times out of 10, your marriage is going to be fucked up. And a lot of times, the reason why a lot of you, your marriages will fail is because you are taking a relationship that you have that is not working, that you shouldn't be in, that you should not, you need to get out of and find a better one. You're just sticking with that person because you're scared, out of fear. You've said, oh, well, we've been together already for 6 years. And so what that, we keep breaking up every 3 months, like, and then you want to get married, and then you get married, and then you get divorced because your relationship was not where it needed to be before you got married. You understand what I'm saying? So, that I just wanted to let you guys know that, because a lot of you guys out there, ladies and gentlemen, all of you, A lot of you are getting married, but you're not really ready. You're getting married for the wrong reasons. You're getting married too quick. There's no communication. You understand what I'm saying? When you actually are married. And, you got to understand these things in order to have a marriage work. For you ladies out there, don't be so quick to just jump into a marriage just because you're getting older. You understand? Take time to actually, have a good relationship with somebody. Be the best you can be. Find the best type of guy for you. You guys click and gel, and you're gonna feel that connection and that ease of a person that you have a good relationship. Not saying that everything is going to be perfect all the time and peaches and cream, but if you are arguing and bickering with your person more than half the time and it's all this drama, y'all don't need to get married. You understand? And if you're the type of person who wants to get married, make sure that, you are on point and your significant other is on point and you guys are on point together so that your marriage won't fail. And for those who don't want to get married, don't get married. Please do not get married. I'm telling you right now, do not get married if you don't want to get married. Marriage is not the end all be all. You understand what I'm saying? I do not want people to think that. I'm probably the only dating and life coach that will tell you not to get married. Or will tell you that marriage isn't that important. It's really not. If you don't want to get married, that's cool. But this is for people who actually want to get married. And if you do get married, I want you to be in a good relationship. I want you to have a marriage that's going to last. And you got to make sure you understand these things before you jump into marriage. Because truth be told, a lot of people are just doing the whole marriage thing or getting married because everybody else is doing it, or because they feel like they're supposed to, or they feel like this is the end goal. Like you've reached the pinnacle. You've made it. You know what I mean? So, decide what you want to do. If you want to get married, but make sure you understand what you're getting into and make sure it's a good thing. If you don't want to get married, that is also cool. Do not feel the pressure of society to tell you that you need to get married. You understand? Because a couple years ago, I was like, I'm never fucking getting married. That was me. I was like, fuck marriage. Marriage is whack. And truthfully, in certain cases, I feel like marriage is whack because a lot of people make the shit whack, or they jump into it in a whack situation, which is why it ends up on some bullshit. You understand? And the reason why I got married was because I was ready at the point, and I was with my girl for a number of years to get to know her, to see if this is the type of chick I would even want to get married if I changed my mind to get married. You see what I'm saying? I was like, damn, our relationship is really good. I fucking love this shit. So when I do get married, I'm actually getting married in a relationship that is, most likely going to work. Because you never know. You understand? Hopefully it works. You never know. People grow apart. 10 years from now, I might feel a certain way. She might feel a certain way. And hey, that's what it is. But when you're getting into it, make sure you are at the point where it is something that is good, that is beneficial for you and the person that you're with. So you won't be the type of dude who's like, damn, because, you don't want to end up getting divorced and having to pay child support and alimony and all this other shit, going through all this bullshit. You don't want to do that. Trust me. And you ladies don't want to be some, 45-year-old woman who getting divorced, and now you want to get back on the scene and shit. And now, you want to claim you're a cougar, and then you're going to get mad that ain't nobody trying to wife you up because you're getting old. You understand what I'm saying? So, you don't want that, all right? But that's all I want to say about that, guys. So hit me up. It's your boy, Mr. Locario. Holla at me at askmrlocario@gmail.com. Make sure you go to mrlocario.com to get my books, DVDs, and audio programs, and make sure you join the membership program. The membership program is awesome. That is when you get 45 to 90-minute audio, video lectures, how to dating advice every month. So make sure you go and join the membership. Go to mrlucario.com and click on the members tab and you will become a member. All right, so I'm out of here. Remember, guys, the truth is inside you. Peace.